Okay, I'm gonna say it. Sometimes it's okay to keep records sealed. Let me explain.
Channel 33, RPM, yeah, 33, RPM, Channel 33, RPM, yeah, final gear ever.
Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome back to Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl gear and more. I know, so many of you are just reaching for that thumbs down just because of what I said a moment ago. But stick with me, I want to share my Jimi Hendrix disaster story with you. But before I get to that, I gotta tell you, I have a small collection of still sealed hard rock and metal albums from the 80s in my collection. I've opened a couple of them, as I've alluded to, and the results have been horrible. That's why I have not opened, well, that's one of the reasons I haven't opened anymore. So I'm going to show you the disaster that happened several years back. I'm going to show that to you, but first I'm going to go through my collection here, my modest collection of still sealed records, and I just want to show it to you. Check it out.
Channel 33 RPM.
I bought most of these from one collector, and I bought them a decade ago or so, and they were all between $5 and $10. I just thought they were really cool. And yes, I agree that music and that records are meant to be played and that they should not be sealed and remain sealed like some artifact. But at the same time, it is cool to see still sealed records of a certain vintage, like 30 years old or older. I mean, they tell a story between the hype stickers and everything else. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's one of them, Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits. This is a Canadian pressing, still sealed. I have a play copy of it. It is a good record. What else is in this pile? I got this 1980s reissue of the Black Sabbath debut, and these are all Canadian pressings unless I say otherwise. But do you remember these? These are the old WIA Extra Value series records. These used to be like $5 or something like that. This one's not the gatefold, it's just a straight up 1980s pressing. Got this still sealed one, AC/DC Flick of the Switch. Not my favorite AC/DC album, but in some respects, I do think it's underrated. There's some good stuff on here. The House is on Fire, Flick of the Switch, Nervous Shakedown, Guns for Hire. That's a great track. Again, still sealed, Canadian copy. More AC/DC, WIA Extra Value. The guy I bought these from bought them from a record store owner who owned a record store here in Winnipeg on Portage Avenue. And the record store went belly up in the 80s, and the owner was liquidating her stock. So these are where those records came from. A still sealed copy of Lick It Up. Again, I have play copies of all of these. That's another reason I haven't opened them. Kiss Animalize, Kiss Asylum. I've grown to really like Asylum. I remember when I got it as a new release, and it never really resonated with me. It was just an odd era from Kiss, and I thought the production was kind of flat sounding, but it's grown on me. Like Who Wants to Be Lonely, Tears Are Falling. There's some really good tracks in this album. Kiss Crazy Nights, not my favorite Kiss album. Kiss Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. Do you remember this? I'm not sure if you can see that. It says $9.99. Do you remember back when they used to write in marker the price of records right on the shrink wrap? Anyway, there you go. This one is cool. This is one of my favorite live Ozzy Osbourne albums. 1982, Speak of the Devil. This is when Ozzy did a complete set of Black Sabbath songs. And truthfully, the first time I heard those Black Sabbath songs as a kid was on this album. I actually heard Ozzy's live versions on Speak of the Devil before I heard the Black Sabbath ones. Anyway, this is an example, I think, where keeping the seal does have some historic significance. You have all the old hype stickers on here. It's Canadian, so you have two record set, two discs, French and English, right? You have the original UPC code. The price was torn off for whatever reason. And of course, the hype sticker. All live, well, which is kind of true. 2 or 3 of these songs are actually recorded during soundcheck. 2 records, a low price, contains Paranoid Iron Man, Children of the Grave, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and much more, also on cassette. Of course, this was the days before compact discs. And shortly, I'm not sure the exact timeline, but bassist Rudy Sarzo left the band, I think just after this was recorded, but before the album came out. So Sharon Osbourne, being Sharon Osbourne, purposely misspelled Rudy's name, R-U-D-I. Anyway, another still sealed album. Got some Led Zeppelin ones. Coda. Check this out. Final clearance, $2.99. It's got the little delete bin, I guess that's what you call it. Clearance bin, little punch out in the corner there. Presents, still sealed. And I thought this one was really cool. This is still sealed version, obviously, of Led Zeppelin 3. And this is the one with the, it's got the wheel you turn, the pictures change in there. So I thought that was cool. Priest Live, not my favorite Priest album, but this tour, the Turbo Tour, which was called the Fuel for Life Tour. This was the first concert I ever went to. It was 1986. I was just turning 13 years old, and my dad took me and my friend Chris. Again, Hype Sticker 2-record set. Got some more Priest ones. Ram It Down. British Steel. Again, we got the little hole punch in there, so it was a deleted item or a discount bin item. Same with this copy of Judas Priest, Point of Entry. Love this album. Still sealed. Screaming for Vengeance, 1982. One of the best Priest albums, if you ask me. And a still sealed version. Canadian pressing, Hellbent for Leather. Now, there you go. There's my very modest collection of still sealed hard rock metal albums from the 80s. And when I bought those, I didn't necessarily buy them with the intention of keeping them sealed. I didn't necessarily buy them to open. I'm not sure why I bought them. It's just sometimes you see a really good deal and you have to jump on it, right? But I did open a couple, and check this out. This was the first one I unsealed. Jimi Hendrix, the Jimi Hendrix Concerts, a live set. And I did a video about this way back in 2015. I can't believe I've been doing videos for that long. But check out this footage. The image is not going to be as clear as it is now. I've improved my gear over the years. But check out this footage of what happened when I tried to open this record. I'm not going to force it. But for some reason, the gatefold won't open. So there you go. It's one reason never to assume that records that are sealed are going to be in pristine condition. Already I can tell this one's not. The gatefold will not open. It does have a minor warp to it, but it's not, doesn't look unplayable. So as you see, I opened it and the gatefold just wouldn't open. So I kind of thought about how I could open it, and I did a follow-up video where I got it unsealed. Check this out. You can see, I hear the sound of cardboard coming apart. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's sealed in the middle too, where the center ring was. Still a little bit. There we go. You heard the last pop. I will show it to you before I look at it myself. Oh, I can see it in the viewfinder. Oh my gosh. So there you go, and that's what the record looks like today. And what I think just happened is it was sealed for like 30, 33 years or so. And just over time, I mean, the shrinks, depending on what kind of temperatures you keep it in. The gatefold just got damaged. It adhered to itself. And look how horrible that is. So I figured, well, maybe this was a one-off, right? Like, I mean, some still sealed records have to be okay, and they are okay, because I've had okay luck with other still sealed records, but coincidentally, the second one in this batch I opened, check out what happened. It was this copy of Kiss, Unmasked, and this one I opened, and nothing was stuck. Still has the poster and everything. I'm not sure if you can tell from this. I mean, the record itself looks immaculate, right? Like flawless. It was sealed for 8, 9, like 30 years or whatever. But when you look at it flat, it's horribly warped. I will show you here on my turntable. You can see it spinning, and you can see that really bad warp in it. So you see two records, the Hendrix one, the gatefold is effed up. You see this Kiss one, it's warped to the point where it's unplayable. And I am convinced that this was due to the fact that these records were sealed for so long. As I said, I've opened other sealed records. I've been sealed for like 30 years. I opened my copy of Michael Jackson Thriller on this channel, and I bought that I found it at a thrift store, brand new 1982 pressing, and I should have kept that one sealed. I could have sold that one for a lot of money. Anyway, stupidly, I unsealed it, and that one was okay. But after my experience with these two records, I figure I'm not going to open any more of those records I just showed you. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to find out the records had warped or the gatefolds were whatever, no good. And I have play copies of them all, so it doesn't really matter. So I guess ultimately my lesson is this is actually the real lesson, don't keep records sealed. Because if you do, don't assume that they are going to be in mint condition and that they will be pristine and that immaculate condition will continue for years, because all sorts of bad stuff can happen if you keep your record sealed. So that's the number one lesson. If you buy a record, open it, because there's a good chance that it can get damaged over the years if you keep it sealed. But the second lesson I've learned is if you come across a still sealed record and it's like 20, 30, 40 years old, just leave that darn record sealed, because there's a good chance when you open it, it's going to be damaged and you are going to be disappointed. All right, 33ers, those are my thoughts on still sealed records. If you buy them, open them. Otherwise, they could get damaged. If you have vintage sealed records, keep them sealed, because they could be damaged. What do you think? Have you opened vintage sealed records, and what was your experience? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. If you dug today's episode, I would appreciate a quick thumbs up. Have a great rest of the week. Until next time, keep on spinning.